What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jess, aka Her Two Wheels, and I'm so excited to be filming this video. Although it's really late. Dude, you guys, I was at the 4,000 subscriber mark and I was like, okay, I gotta think of a video for when I hit 5K, and I was like, I'll do a Q&A. You know, you guys love asking me questions, and you all ask like the same questions. So I was like, go ahead and ask me some questions and I'll film a 5K Q&A. And I'm at 6,000 subscribers right now. Well, at the time of me filming this video, I am at 6,742 subscribers. Like, what the f? I can't believe it, you guys. I'm like shook for real. I'm so humbled by this, but anyway, I'm gonna do the 5K Q&A regardless because I live in Ohio. It's nasty and wet and icy outside, and there's no way I can get the bike out even if I wanted to. So let's go ahead and get into this Q&A. Oh, before I forget, my stickers came. You guys, these are so freaking cute. If you're interested in getting one of my Her Two Wheels stickers, the link is in the description below, but I love these. I'm actually going to be at the International Progressive Motorcycle Show, the IMS show in Cleveland, Ohio this weekend. So if you're at the IMS show this weekend, find me and I will give you a free sticker. I only have 25, so if I run out, I run out. But this is like, I'm so excited. This is very exciting. All right, let's go ahead and get into this Q&A. My best friend made this cut for me. I'm obsessed. All right, a lot of you guys had a lot of questions about how do I record my videos and how do I edit and how I vlog in general. It's a big conversation piece and I get it because it's a ton of work. So the very first question is, how much time do I put into my videos? I'll give you a little example. I'm filming in my garage right now and I just set up this entire scene that you saw in the beginning of the clip. It took me a solid 45 minutes just to light test, camera test, mic test, and just get the shot set up the way I wanted it to. So that right there, I hadn't even started filming yet. It took me 45 minutes. It'll probably take me an hour to record this vlog. When I'm out riding, it takes anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes if it's a short trip. And then the editing. Once I get back home and process all the film, I edit all of my film in Adobe Premiere Pro. That was another huge question, is what do I use to edit? I edit in Adobe Premiere, and I literally just taught myself how to use it 3 months ago. I know I have an art degree. I learned all of the Adobe programs, most of them. Photoshop is like my bread and butter, but I had only used After Effects a handful of times, and Premiere, I honestly didn't even know how to open the thing. So when I decided I wanted to use Premiere, I watched so many YouTube tutorials, and it takes me anywhere from an hour to edit a short clip or a short vlog to like 8 hours a day if I'm trying to backlog and do some stuff. It takes a long time. It's 32 degrees right now and I can see my breath inside. Question number 2, any plans for dual vlogging eventually? I haven't planned it. If it happens, it happens. I think that would be totally cool. My husband and I talk while we ride, but he's not much of a talker in general, and my friends that I ride with, I don't really communicate with while we ride. So yeah, dual vlogs might happen, but as of right now, not really in the plans. Just gonna be the Her Two Wheels show for a little bit. Next question is, when did you start getting comfortable while riding? It took me probably into my 3rd year of riding my bike that I was comfortable enough to take the highways, comfortable enough to start doing long trips, and comfortable enough to start going to places that required like backing your bike into a parking spot in a public location, or, you know, poker runs, stuff like that. I hate poker runs, but I feel confident enough to show up to one. This question is, how much does it cost getting into YouTubing? Honestly, you can watch any video anywhere. It costs as much as your cell phone payment and an internet connection. You don't have to have the next best thing to do YouTubes, but obviously, listen to me. Obviously, if you want to have a quality content that I'm not even there yet, I'm still learning, but it costs me a lot of money up front, especially for the stuff that, you know, motovloggers do. You know, you gotta have the GoPro camera or an action camera that connects to the helmet, the microphones, the good light for vlogging and stuff like that. So it was a big chunk of money. I bought my GoPro 7 Black used off of Facebook. I think it was 260 bucks, probably a month after the GoPro 8 came out. So I got a pretty good discount on that. And then I bought my second vlogging camera that you see on my handlebars all the time. I bought that new, but still like at a discounted rate. So I think it was like 280 or 320. It was like 320. But, and then, you know, the mics, the setup, stuff like that, it adds up. And I'm obviously, you can see the content of my videos. They're not spectacular, but it's a good chunk of money. But definitely buy used if you can. You don't have to buy the next best brand new thing, especially when technology is so fast and so new and so recent. Buy used. Next question. If you lived somewhere that doesn't have real winter, would I still own a car? Yes, absolutely I would own a car. The whole reason I even kind of got into motorcycling is because of my love for manual transmission and driving and owning and controlling a vehicle. I drive a 2018 Honda Civic Si. It's a 6-speed manual transmission, and it's not the fastest or the nicest thing, but I love using my hands. I love telling my car what to do, and I would hands down own a car no matter what. I joke around and call my bike my grocery getter. I mean, I can fit a lot of in these things, but there's nothing like having a car and a nice warm seat to drive to work every day, even if there's no winter. The best trip I have taken so far and my next big trip. This will be my 3rd year in a row. I love going to Babes Ride Out East Coast. I actually woke myself up. I was having a dream this morning that I was setting up my camping site for Babes Ride Out. It's about a little over 500-mile trip from where I live here in Ohio all the way out to New York, and it's a solid 10 hours straight if you're trying to get there. Just like the roads that I take to get there and the roads that you ride when you're there, and the actual event itself is so much fun. I look forward to it every single year. And the next big trip is I'm going to Babes Ride Out. It's coming up here in June, and tickets go on sale next month. Stoked. How did it come about? This is the next question. How did it come about with the feature in the article of Thunder Rhodes magazine, December 2019 edition? As you can see here, there's a little screen capture of my article in Thunder Rhodes magazine. I actually ran into the editor, the director, the guy that runs Thunder Rhodes magazine, and he's like the PR guy. I ran into him at a moto event here in Ohio, and he was actually asking me about my tattoos. I was in shorts and he was capturing some content for the tattoo edition, and so he asked if he could take some pictures of my leg, and I was like, yeah, go for it. And then we just started chatting and found out, you know, I do what I do, he does what he does, and we started collaborating, and so that's how I kept in contact with him. Networking, very important. The next question is, how do we get more people, men and women, to start riding? That's a loaded question. You know, my favorite term that I've been using lately is like, you can lead a horse to water, you cannot make it drink. And I firmly believe that's the way of motorcycling. Like, you have to want to do it. You have to have an interest in it. And I'm so amazed that I still do it, because I didn't even have an interest in it when I first decided I wanted to learn how to ride. So I mean, like, to get people interested in it is to do, I think, exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm sharing my passion for it. I'm vocalizing with you guys, like, how scary it was when I first learned and I wasn't sure I wanted to keep up with it, and then something just clicked. So I definitely think social media is such a huge platform right now, and everyone's on it. I mean, half of you guys watching are over the age of 65. Okay, not half, that was an exaggeration. Comment down below if you're over 65. So prove to everyone that there's no age to social media, and I think just by being on this platform and sharing what we love and promoting like good things about it, instead of seeing all of, you know, my cousin's brother's sister's nephew's rodent had a friend that died on a bike. Like, we all know a tragic story, and that's why it's such a taboo subject. But just sharing it and promoting it in the way that we love it, I think, is the best way to get new people on the bikes. There it is. All right, the next question is some basic tips for starting a moto vlog. Get your audio straight. You know, figuring out the audio is the hardest part, especially with the wind and stuff like that. And once I got that figured out from you guys, you told me what was successful in starting a vlog is have a personality, have something that people want to watch or listen to, or, you know, don't just be riding down the interstate every single day unless you got some funny to say, I don't know. But be yourself and get some good audio. Doesn't matter what bike you're on. Next question. Am I single? I've always wanted a girl that I could ride with. I'm not single, I'm married, very obvious in all of my videos. My husband and I have been together 14 years, and he and I just started riding at the same time within a year of each other, so very happy. Also, get you a girl that can ride, they're fun. Next question is similar to this event, is or you know, what we're doing right now. How do I make thumbnails? I mentioned earlier I use Photoshop all the time, and that's how I make my thumbnails. I'll go ahead and insert a quick time lapse here on how I actually edit and make a thumbnail so that you can see what I do is what you see in the final picture. So, sip my coffee and let you watch that real quick. don't know if that's rain or wind, but I thought for sure the garage was about to blow down. This next question is a two-part question. It says, how do you feel inspiring young women as myself to ride in a mostly male-dominated thing to do? And the question two is, what tips can you give me if your family and friends don't agree with you riding? I feel absolutely humbled and amazed and just like wholesome in general that anything that I put on the internet has inspired anyone else to get on a motorcycle and ride. I love hearing about it. I read every single message. I read every single comment. And so please, like, if you think that my videos have helped you get back on the bike or get on the bike in the first place, I'm absolutely amazed. And I love, love, love hearing those stories because, again, like I've said, like I wasn't a gearhead. I didn't grow up with motorcyclists in my life. It was something I learned to love on my own. And I know there are other women out there that feel that way. So I love hearing about it. As for what to say to your family, I kind of went through a similar situation with my family, and ironically, unless you just sit down and talk to your family and ask them like why they're feeling the way they feel, you have no idea. For example, 5 years ago, I told my mom, who had never owned a motorcycle, never really talked about it. Like I said, I wasn't around bikes growing up. I told my mom, like, hey, I got my permit. I'm gonna learn how to ride a motorcycle. And she like looked like I smacked her across the face, and I was like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? And she's like, that has been my dream my entire life. And I was like, what? You know, I was 26 years old. I'd known my mom as long as I'd been alive. And I was like, I've never heard you say you wanted to ride your own motorcycle. And she's like, yeah, that's been my dream my whole life. And I had no idea. And so, you know, we talked about it. And after a few years of me riding, she decided that it was time for her to conquer her fears and achieve her dreams. And now she's a badass biker, babe. Like, look at my mom, dude. She's so hot. But anyway, for the family that doesn't want you to ride, I guess my best advice is just sit down and ask them, like, why are you saying these things to me? Like, I understand your concerns, I understand the statistics, but by you being so fearful and like demeaning towards me and my hobbies and the way I want to do things is really affecting me. And I mean, it seriously could potentially injure you in the future. You know, if you're not in the right headspace and you want to go out and ride a motorcycle and you start thinking about the bad things that can happen and the things that people said to you, bad things do happen. Manifestation is a real thing. So I guess just sit down and talk to them and say, like, this is what I want to do. I understand your concerns, and just try to support me. And if it gets bad, it gets bad. If it gets good, then great. So just, I guess, talk to them, ask them why they say the things they say. Maybe they'll stop saying them. And then the last question I have here is, have I ever had any close calls on the bike? I wouldn't say close calls to the point of I almost died. I would say I've had close calls to the point of somebody almost ran into me. I've mentioned it in all of my previous videos. I'm a very defensive rider. I'm a defensive driver, and I pay attention to literally everything. So you kind of know when that idiot in the minivan or that truck driver that can't see you is going to swerve into your lane. Like, you just kind of have to be aware of things like that. I think probably the scariest the scariest experience I've ever had on my motorcycle was my very first trip to New York, when it rained the entire way. It was so rainy, and that was my very first time ever really riding in the rain, and I had to ride 500 miles in the rain. So every time I would come around a blind corner on the interstate doing 70 miles an hour, and all of a sudden there's traffic slammed on their brakes, stopped because of construction or an accident or something. It was the scariest moment because I thought for sure I was gonna like lock up the rear slot, you know, like it was scary. Nothing bad happened, but it never left my mind. So that's probably the closest close call I've ever had on a motorcycle. I've almost hit some animals, but I just treat it as a speed bump. I don't know, unless it's a deer. We all know how I feel about deer. And that's it, you guys. You asked me some really great questions. A lot of them had to do with how to get started on YouTube, and it's a big deal. I think 2020, a lot of people are going to try to start doing this. And I don't know what else to do on rainy days like this. If it's dry and it's cold, I'll be out, but it is like 100% raining cats and dogs outside. So staying in, drinking my coffee, and hanging out with you. All right, well, if you have any more questions, leave them down below. I'll try to answer as much as I can, and I hope you have a great rest of your January. And I'll see you at the IMS show in Cleveland if I see ya. I'll probably post on Instagram that day, like a picture of my outfit or something, so you know to stop me and ask for a sticker. All right, until next time, later. I'm in my camping chair right now, and it's like super comfy. I don't want to get out. Did you like this camping chair? This is what I take when I go camping. I showed you in the beginning of the video. It's so easy to set up. I love it. I had like a big full-size chair with like a cup holder and everything. You couldn't see my pretty girl behind me. My pretty girl. Get up. It's cold. Oh yeah, don't forget to tag me on Instagram if you get my Her Two Wheels stickers. I know a lot of you have already bought some, so once you get it in the mail and put it on, or where, even if you don't put it on, just take a picture of it and tag me. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see where you put them. Right.